One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning and welcome to Soulcall Sunday. My name is Lisa Ferrero and we welcome you wherever you're joining us from. Tell us in the chat, where are you? Where are you this morning? We are here in Columbus, Ohio. We've got a lot of people in the house this morning. It's a gorgeous, lovely morning in Columbus. I feel like I'm standing in the dark, but I'm really not. I don't know what that's about, but it looks lighter on the, I feel like I'm doing the weather. So this morning, our conversation is going to be around direct experience. And over this past month of July, we've been exploring the theme of curiosity and getting curious about the various ways we can have direct experience of the infinite. Over this weekend, I watched a Netflix special about the James Webb Telescope. If you've not seen it, it's a documentary on how it's taken 20 years to make the thing and how intricate. It's completely mind-blowing, and what it's offering, the images that have been coming back, as we've seen now for quite some time, are just blowing the minds of the people who created the telescope too. They had no idea that we would be able to see 13 billion light years away to the beginning of light itself. Mind-blowing. And it also means nothing because we can't really conceive or conceptualize what that means. So this direct experience opportunity, like going within and having direct experience of the cosmos within the cosmic consciousness itself, is what we're after. And through this month of July, we've been offering many different workshops on some of the really fun things we could do to experience the infinite. We started with, singing bowls. We had a Qigong workshop. We did a numerology workshop, the power of attraction, all these kinds of things. We had a wonderful kirtan last Wednesday, the 26th. It was very well attended, and we're going to do that again the third Wednesday of August. But just so that we can be empowered with direct knowledge, direct experience of God, Goddess, Source, whatever you call it. And as you know, with Soulcall Sunday, we've been starting off every session with a direct experience of traditional Chinese medicine called Qigong. And what a world we would live in, and how much more energy in our bodies if we were taught these kinds of things when we were little. I started practicing yoga in my 30s. I wish I had known about yoga when I was a little kid. We used to do flexibilities, they called them, before we played sports. You have to stretch and all that. But boy, to really have our mind, body, and our spirit and like that direct, I can't imagine the ways it would have opened me up to even more things. Like maybe that's why I didn't have it. That'd be kind of dangerous, huh? A little out there already. All right, so let's start this practice this morning. We welcome you, like I said, with a practice of Qigong with Deborah Weisenberger-Lippitz.
We are continuing today with the small mountain practice. So please look forward, stretching the vision from inside the mind's home out through Ba Hui to merge with infinite space, and from there gather all the healing qi, love, good wisdom, and pull it back through yin tang to the center of the head, and very gently close the eyes. Now be aware of the center of the head shining brightly inside, and open up the top of the head, Ba Hui, to merge with infinite space, gathering all the healing qi, love, good wisdom. Pull it down inside Ba Hui, all the way through to the bubbling spring of each foot, Yong Shen, through the earth to merge with infinite space on the other side. Gather all the healing qi, love, good wisdom, and pull it up deep inside the center of our essence. The entire body relax. We're connected above, grounded from below. Relaxing, merging, heart to heart, mind to mind as one. Slowly bring the hands behind the back, palms together, thread the fingers, straighten the arms. Place your mind's consciousness between the shoulder blades. Then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeeze, squeeze, holding the same hand position. Completely relax the shoulders, opening, transforming. Again, straighten the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, mind's consciousness between the shoulder blades. Squeeze, squeeze, holding the hand position, completely relax the shoulders. Now separate the hands to the side and observe from above the head the chi body holding the arms, the entire body, arms floating. Slowly circle to the front, palms facing the body, this huge, infinite chi ball. Cross hands, pushing it inside through navel. Inside, full of chi. Relax hands to both sides. Gently open the eyes. Smiling from the inside out.
A little version of Halloween. So let's just take that beautiful meditation. Following the breath, just allow yourself to sit in a relaxed position, maybe feet flat on the floor, palms turned upward at the juncture of the thighs and the abdomen, spine straight and chin parallel to the floor, opening up medulla oblongata in the back of the base of the brain and the tip of the spine. Then just follow the breath. Mentally chant inward, I am, on the inhalation, and then just when your body is ready to exhale, just mentally chant that I am. And when the body's ready to inhale again, just mentally chant I am. When it's ready to exhale, mentally chant that I am. Just following the breath, letting the body breathe, merging with the infinite to this beautiful song called Listen, O Drum.
Listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, oh drop. In the arms of the sea. sea. Be secure. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. In the arms of the sea, be secure. In the arms of the sea, be secure. Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Have you ever seen an ocean wooing a drop, wooing a drop? Listen, 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 oh drop. Listen, 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 oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop. Listen, listen, oh drop.
In the arms of the sea, be secure. My favorite line of that inspiration from Rumi, and then sung by myself and Erika Luckett, is who should be so fortunate, an ocean wooing a drop? It's like the infinite wants you as much as you want it, only more. And it's more constant in its waiting, in its craving. I often say, as I'm teaching meditation classes to international students and individuals, if we can get the idea that when we sit to meditate, we're sitting at the edge of the universe, but the infinite has been sitting at the edge of the universe, patiently waiting. We sit and wait for the infinite, but it sits and waits for us too. So the moment we close our eyes from this material world, there the infinite is waiting. And then when we open our eyes, we'll be able to see the infinite in everyone, in all things. It has become all things. So one of the challenges, I think, at the beginning when we're trying to start with a direct perception of the infinite, a direct experience, is this idea that the God of the universe, or whatever was created all of this, is impersonal. And it's impossible for it to be impersonal. It's created in the force field of love. everything feels very real. But then to be able to rise above, like to disassociate in a healthy way from all the things, and to experience with non-attachment that which is coming our way, and to recognize somehow these things are for us, or they're going to bring something forth from us maybe we didn't realize we had. But through it all, the idea is to, whether it's a thing we most would like to experience or something we definitely no thank you, it's always there. It's always with us. It's always within us. And it sounds like nice words we've heard before, but once you have that direct experience yourself, nobody can take it away from you. And you'll start comparing things that you enjoy. Last week we were talking about the ice cream story. Even if you really like ice cream, if you ate a whole lot of it in one sitting, you wouldn't want to have it for a little while. The infinite is not like that. There's a really wonderful chant. O thou King, Queen of the Infinite, I behold thee in samadhi, in joy and in more joy, in thy light of mellow joy. And that's what happens. It's like light upon light, being with being. We wrote in a song. It's constantly evolving, and it never ebbs and flows. It's beyond all duality. Beyond all duality is this constant, steady experience that once we have, cleaned off the pathway to it, or tuned up our apparatus for this divine consciousness, there it is, and there it will be ever present. And you'll find there's nothing more interesting. You won't get bored with it. Think about your life. This morning I was thinking about the different phases, and not even phases, but the way that music has evolved throughout my life. It's been the constant passion, love. God as music has been my first love. And it continues. But I think of the things that I have done with that thing that I love, or the experiences I got to have. Various, I would go from singing in nightclubs till 2:00 in the morning, go and have breakfast till 4, and then go sing 3 masses in the Catholic Church starting at 8:30 in the morning. I don't know how great it sounded, but I was there. It's just interesting. Some people laugh when we say, the only difference between, the church and the nightclub was different kind of spirits were being served. But it's amazing what we can do when we don't put conditions on, like with very little sleep. And so I feel like that's kind of been a theme that's also constant. I don't need a whole lot of rest because I constantly tune into the infinite source of energy. I don't get so exhausted, but when I do, I pay attention to that because it's rare. So I will let myself take a break. But what's a break? If everything we're doing is in the direct experience or with the consciousness of the infinite, and recognizing I'm doing this for you, my beloved, the one who brought me here. Everything I do, I make it a prayer to be of service. Everything I'm doing. So as Yogananda would say, then it becomes meditation. When everything you do with the thought of pleasing the infinite, the God, the goddess, whatever you call that, it sets forth an energy that brings you more of what you might need faster. And try it out. Don't just take my word for it. So what we're going to be doing with Soulcall is we're going to start shifting into what Soulcall Global was really designed to be. We've enjoyed doing Soulcall Sunday. We did our mic drop moment, literally when I couldn't tour the world, traveling, singing, and lecturing and anymore. It was the mic drop moment that we started live streaming Sundays, and we did Wisdom Wednesdays, and we've done all these things. And so then we started to meet in person, only to realize that because we don't tell anybody they're going to hell, people don't show up on a Sunday morning as regularly as some of these other places do. Because we don't believe in that. I don't. I feel like the world could beat us up enough. Hell's not a place, it's a state of mind. And we can create it for ourselves, or we can co-create something much more beautiful and meaningful. Not to say I haven't experienced really difficult times. We all have. I certainly have had my fair share of challenge. What I am saying is Soulcall Sunday, we're going to do live Soulcall Sundays. We're not exactly sure the timing of it yet. So I have not shared this widely, but it'll be in the newsletter. But we're going to cut it to one Sunday a month. And it's going to be the first Sunday a month in every month. And then we're going to, all throughout that month, create experiential spirituality, which is what Soulcall Global was founded upon in 1999. When Erika and I came to this area, our idea was to start a retreat center. That's what we've always wanted to do. So we're going to move more towards offering opportunities that are more like retreat experiences on a more regular basis. So they will be hybrid events for all of you around the globe who tune in with us. You're not going to be isolated and alone or disconnected from us. We'll certainly live stream, but we're figuring all that out. So stay tuned. Like some of the things that I just mentioned, every Wednesday, we're going to start meditation every single Wednesday, starting in September. Right now, it's the third Wednesday. We do live kirtan, that's music meditation, chanting, meditate at the sanctuary space at the Dempsey Event Center. And so between the Dempsey Event Center sanctuary space and the Dempsey Integrative Wellness Center at 130 Hyatts Road, right across the street, we're offering workshops. Yoga is starting in August. 4 days a week, we're going to start yoga out there. And so just experiencing all we can in the body. We are not limited in any way. We're not limited in any way. And just more ways for you to experience the infinite through creativity, through contemplation, education, the healing arts, qigong, mandalas, all the things we do. It's going to be offered on a more regular basis, inviting people in. We are going to do our food drive coming up in September. Michelle, which date did we say we're doing that? The 16th? I just called you right out.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that.
We gotta confirm that.
It'll be in the newsletter, but it's going to be, I think it's going to be the first, actually it'll be the first Sunday, because we're going to try to do it the second Sunday.
That's exactly right.
First Sunday of September will be the day we package up the bags of food. So we're going to start collecting food at the Dempsey and a couple other places around town. We'll let you know in the newsletter. And if you want to send contributions, we always look forward to receiving your donations around the food drives, because it helps us to go purchase more food and fill in with some of the items we know people would be able to eat. And we get really healthy foods. We try to get non-perishables when we can, but we try to look for the healthy stuff. So Elia Thomas, good morning. Love from Miami. I think I saw Joy out there too, in Joy and in More Joy. So all these things are happening and you're happening. Dominica, good morning, love. And happy Sunday. I thought you said happy birthday. I was like a little early, but okay. So all of these things are happening. It's happening. And I was reading from this book again. I love this book. It's just so simple. In the Sanctuary of the Soul, like Spirituality Made Simple. And I think about when I started talking about the vision for Soulcall, some people became so exhausted just listening to it that they had to vibrate away. It just sounded like too much. It's too much, but it's not. It's all one thing. But then I read this and I was like, yeah, what the saints do. When you make up your mind to do good things, you will accomplish them if you use dynamic willpower and to follow through. Dynamic willpower to follow through. And I think the words follow through grabbed me, because when I was younger, I used to play softball, and my father would come to our games, and I had a really good swing, and I'd always make contact with the ball, but I would just kind of punch it here and punch it there. And I'd hit singles, maybe doubles. And my father would say to me, follow through, like swing all the way around and then see what happens. And then I started hitting triples and home runs, So I moved from like leadoff hitter to like 3, 4, 5. Follow through. What does that mean? Like to go from just like making it, on base, just getting in the game to helping the bases get cleared, like to actually scoring runs almost every time you're up. Now, I'm not saying I was like the home run hitting queen of the universe. I was not. But all I'm saying is I started hitting, the more I would follow through, the further the ball would go, the more that things would happen. So how in our minds, in your life, do you just like go for the sure thing, get on base, but don't go for the bigger thing? What if we just said, hey, this could all end tomorrow. We have no idea. I started thinking about, there are people that I haven't seen. I used to see people as we traveled who I've not seen for years. And I wonder sometimes, am I ever going to see these people again? I don't know. We don't know. So why not go for it? You don't know. Go for it. Follow through. Follow through is what it is. God will create the means by which your will shall find its proper reward. This is the truth all the great teachers taught. If ye have faith and doubt not, if ye say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done. So we think about this. Study the lives of saints, he goes on. That which is easy to do is not the way of the infinite. That which is difficult is God's way. St. Francis had more troubles than you could imagine, but he didn't give up. Does this sound like you? Something you're trying to bring forth? We certainly had our challenges getting Soulcall going. It went through a couple different iterations, but now we've got some real traction and we've got beautiful places to practice. People come and go like waves in the ocean, and some people come back around because they couldn't see it, and then all of a sudden, now I can see it. Okay, yeah, I get it now. It's okay if everyone doesn't see your vision right off the bat, literally, how pun intended, I guess. Do it anyway. We're not here to do it for the accolades of others. We're here to fulfill our divine soul's calling, and each of us will do this in a different way. The thing to remember too is to ask for help from sincere people who are devoted to that heart of service to in the particular way you bring it forth. So within Soulcall, we're bringing people together who are offering their passion week after week, workshop after workshop, song after song. And so everybody gets to share in that energy of divine, passionate performance of your soul's calling. It's contagious. It's contagious in the best possible way. Let's get contagious with that, spread that around a little bit. One by one, by the power of mind, St. Francis overcame those obstacles and became one with the master of the universe. Why shouldn't you have that kind of determination? So when we ask, why don't I have that kind of determination? It starts this process, in my coaching practice, I help people to, why don't you have that kind of determination? What is it that keeps us from taking that step? And for each of us, it's something a little different. It'll show up differently, but essentially it's a couple different things. Fear is one of them. Most people I know who are afraid of things are afraid to succeed, because in that success, lots of things change. Most people aren't afraid to fail. They kind of think they'll do it. But what happens if I succeed? My whole life changes. Am I ready to trade in this little I for the great I am? What is it? Last week, we talked a little bit about lead us not into temptation. And my friend who used to say, leave us not in temptation. The infinite will try to tempt us with smaller things just to see if we'll be appeased by them, right? I'm going to do this. How many times do we say, I'm definitely going to do this, but I'm going to do it tomorrow because today I'm going to, I remember many, many years ago, I was told I needed to stop eating sugar and all these different kinds of things. It was a pretty interesting and serious situation health-wise many years ago. And for 18 months, I couldn't eat sugar. Now, I was a person who knew when the bakery opened, it was open all night long. There was this Jenny Lee Bakery in Pittsburgh. And I lived very close by. But I knew, because I'd be writing into the wee hours of the morning, that the fresh cakes would be cool enough to be iced at 3:30 in the morning. That's right, Dan. So at 3:45, I was standing in the baker right as they were putting them into the case. I like that one. Then I would take it home. And you know how if you stand at the counter and just slice a little at a time, it's not like eating a great big piece until you look down and you've just eaten a great big piece. I used to do that. So to not eat sugar for 18 months. One of the hardest things I've ever done. And I'll say, I just remember I wanted it. There was such a craving. It's such an addiction, sugar. Holy cow, I had no idea the power it had over me. But I had to use the force of my will. I didn't realize how willful I could be in directing it towards something, how much will it would take to not eat that. I was always a pretty willful person. But that was one of the hardest challenges at that point in my life, was to not eat sugar. And 18 months later, I mean, I remember literally sitting, I couldn't eat like bread, sugar, anything that had sugar in it, which is almost everything. Sometimes there's sugar and salt that you cook with to give you that sweet, sour thing that makes you just want to keep eating. So after about 2.5 weeks, I kind of got into it. But I think I've told this story where I went into the bakery shop and I told myself, on Fridays, if I want a cookie, I'm allowed to have one. All of a sudden, in my mind, I broke it down into like eternity without sugar. I just needed to get through a week. It was significant enough of a period of time that I could at least start to develop my will around it. But if I said every day, do I want one? Do I want one? Do I want one? That's not going to ever really get you there. And we know that. So on Friday, the very first Friday, I walked into the bakery and I definitely wanted a cookie and I ate one. And I felt good about it. I was like, fine. So next Friday, if I want one, but something clicked. When I ate it, the instant reward of the sugar was surpassed by the feeling of, wow, you just went a whole week and you just got to start all over again now. You know, that hit me from a deeper level. So something deeper within me, when I really was trying to do something hard, quitting anything, starting anything, something deeper inside of me that I really wasn't in touch with for a little bit started to come forth and volley questions into my consciousness, thoughts I've not had, inspirations I haven't had, logic, just carefully choosing where I wanted to direct my will and attention. So here comes a week. It's Friday. I wake up. Wednesday, I really wanted a cookie, but it wasn't Friday. So I had that kind of discipline, at least. I had that going for me. I was already meditating. But what I started to recognize is the things that I thought I needed, or the things that I really just enjoyed that I thought were subtle, weren't so subtle and they weren't good for me. I was starting to pay attention to not just people, but food. I was always a healthy eater, but this cake thing, it was like, I love sweets. I mean, when I was in sales, I knew every bakery shop in the tri-state area of Pittsburgh. And after I was finished with a long day, I'd get a coffee and a donut. And I'd be like, yes, that was it. Nothing bad about that. But when Yogananda would say, you eat and the food shouldn't eat you, it was revealing that it had more control over me than I had over myself around it, right? So the second Friday comes around. And again, I go to a different bake shop. And this time, that thought of consider before you eat this, before you buy this, you're going to have to start all over again. And how are you ever going to start? So I decided that what I will do, I changed my mind, and I did not buy a cookie the second week, which was the first week again, because I started over again. But I just stood there and I stood in the bakery shop and just smelled for a while. Deep breaths. That's how I learned how to do deep belly breathing. But I became more relaxed around the sense of urgency about a cookie. And then it just became laughable that, like, oh my God, for a cookie, I would drive across town. What are you doing? It just started to unravel this craze for me. If I would do that for a cookie, what would I do for something more beneficial, something more useful, my consciousness? So I started to really get caught up in it. And that was the last time it bothered me. After 2.5 weeks, of course, the sugar cravings stop, because all those little parasites that want them, all of the generations of them start to die off. And after 18 months, when I was cleared of all of this and I was allowed to have whatever I wanted again, I went right to one of the bakeries and bought a sugar cookie. And I took a bite of it. And my palate became so sophisticated and so used to subtle, like delicious stuff, that I spat it into the garbage can because it burned my tongue. The chemical in the refinement process was so intense. So I can't eat that stuff anymore. If I have one, I'll have one bite and then I have to put it down. Like a donut will take me a day and a half, you know? I don't know what that means in the cosmos, but whatever it is, that's a simple little thing, but it wasn't at the time, but now it's a funny story. But think about something you want to do that feels hard, or something that you want to stop doing that feels hard. Set yourself up for success. Take it in small steps. You know, at Soulcall Global, we set ourselves up for success. We tried a lot of things, and we're keeping the things that really are serving in this moment, and we'll grow the other things back out, like our food drives. We've got our live stream of Jazz Up the Holidays, the 20th anniversary is coming up 12/12. That's a Tuesday night. And we're going to be starting to collect items for the silent auction starting in September. So if you have things around the house that you can repurpose, or something you want to offer in a silent auction to raise funds for our Soulcall Santa drive, let us know. I'll be doing the Jazz Up the Holidays live in Pittsburgh also on Monday, December 4th at the Manchester Craftsmen's Guild. All that's going to be on our website and in the newsletter. But the live stream one will be the 12th of December. Christmas in July, anyone? So just thinking about these things. Great saints, one of the first things they started to do, and we all have this, wired within us. We don't need to acquire anything from the outside, but it's just like closing off the senses, pulling that all the way into the spine and brain in meditation, and getting that full sense of the might of the cosmos, which resides in your open heart, in the body, and bringing it forth. And then you'll see it everywhere. You'll experience it everywhere and everyone. So Soulcall Global, we're having the excitement around our success, and we're going to build on that in the ways that we feel are a better service to what our actual plan is, which is to create experiential spirituality opportunities. Experience it for yourself. We've already got several people signed up, I'm happy to say, for October 13th through the 15th, our Circle of Love gathering. If you're interested, you should sign up ASAP, really, because it's, I'm surprised how many people have signed up already, I have to be honest. October 13th through the 15th, right here in Columbus. It's going to be at the Dempsey Event Center like it was last year. Reverend David Leonard's going to be joining us. We're going to have Nia, Mandala, Qigong, music with Natalia Zuckerman will be in town, Gary Lynn Floyd, and meditation, kirtan, Tibetan singing bowls. This is Italian for Tibetan singing bowls, or stirring the sauce on Sunday, depending on what story I'm telling you. And Tibetan singing bowls with Dr. Sandra Solano. That was a fabulous workshop she did at the Dempsey, and people were healed in many different ways from that experience. So she'll be with us, Circle of Love, 13th through the 15th. So sign up for that. And whatever it is that you are planting the seed, release it to the infinite, just like you do when you plant seeds in the spring or late fall. You plant them into the earth and you tend to them as lovingly as you can. But it's the energy within Mother Earth that pushes life force, grows. The combination of the elements, that could be the people in your life, they'll start appearing, the people you need most to help you with your vision. None of us does it by ourselves. That is never the case. And it takes all of us to do it. So Soulcall Global is going to be shifting. We're very excited about it. We've been actually waiting for this opportunity to be able to meet in person in the ways that we want to be meeting in person. And this opportunity will happen at least once a month. And then the third Wednesday of every month, we'll also live stream and bring you into the kirtan experience. And more things will be coming, more writings. I've been writing every day, people who've been asking me that. I read something from a book called Steal Like an Artist. I can't remember what the gentleman's name is. It's a bit of an older book. But one of the things he said was, just write at least one page every day. And by the end of the year, you'll have a freaking novel. I'm like, right? So I can commit to one page a day and it turns into more. So yes, that's forthcoming. I'm very excited about all of this. Very excited about you living your passion, your soul's calling, bringing it to fruition. And little by little, each one of us, the rosy cheeked are coming down from the rose gardens and mountains of love. Enjoy this song, Little by Little. Or
coming down from the rose gardens and orchards of love. Little by little, the bands of drunkards are coming. Little by little, the heart-healing ones are on the way. The exhausted ones from the meadows of love, strong and in the best of health, are returning. Loads of gold and the gold mines themselves are being bestowed on the poorest of the poor. The souls of the pure of heart are streaming down like beams from an invisible sun. Little by little, cheeked are coming down from the rose gardens and orchards of love. Little by little, the bands of drunkards are coming. Little by little, the heart-healing ones are on the way. Little by little, the non-beings are being gone. And little by little, the true beings are coming. Joyous is the garden of winter to where the fresh fruit of summer are brought for Blessed Mary. And little by little, friends receive their share of the ripened fruit of remembering. Little by little, little by little, little by little, by little, little by little, little by little, little by little, by little, little by little.
Little by little, the rosy cheeks are coming down from the rose gardens and orchards of love. That's you. Little by little, the non-beings are being gone. And little by little, the true beings are coming. That just means the transformation of consciousness. So in this evolution of soul call, we have taken it step by step, and little by little, it's coming to fruition as what it was designed to be. And I could not be happier and grateful for everything that has gotten us to this point. All of you, I thank you for your contributions. Your donations help us tremendously, and we're going to be able to do even more good and perfect work, helping young people exposing them to creativity, helping them get their emotions out, get their expression out. We're going to have lots more opportunities to do that. That's mostly what Soulcall was designed to do. Children of all ages, from 1 to 92. That's you. I mean, I'm rambling like this because I'm just very excited about it. I can't wait to dive into this true being of Soulcall's evolution. So thank you for that. I want to thank everyone, Aiden behind the scenes, who continues to help us live stream all of our Sundays, and he'll continue to help us in the future, and Natalia for the newsletter, Reverend Christy Hardwick, everybody who's at, Helen Yee for allowing us to meet here at AIAM, and all of our volunteers, Karen, Michelle, and Debbie, and Dan, who's in the house, and everyone in between, Lisa with a Y, our Kirtan group, Dina and Janice, like all these things, we are chugging along, and Elia helping us spearhead the Kindness Cafe, all of our healing arts practitioners out of the Dempsey Integrative Wellness Center at 130 Heights Road, all of this stuff. Judith Dempsey Hook for helping mentor and ask really great questions. I feel her love in this, and Erika, of course, in it all the time. And of course, the infinite, the one that I was born with, has me by the hand, by the heart, and we just roll along. We roll along, we take it, and we just make it whatever it needs to be in the moment. And whatever it needs to be for you in the moment, may it be love, may it be peace, may it be something that inspires that dynamic will to do the hard thing. Do the hard thing and watch the rewards. Just watch how it shapes and grows from the inside. The energy is contagious. People love it. We watch documentary films about people who do the hard thing. I mean, there aren't many films or inspirational books written about people who do the easy thing. No offense, there's a time for that, but I'm just saying, like, get busy. Yeah, like maybe I'll write a book about take it easy. We can take it easy sometimes, and it's important. It's finding that balance, but do that thing that makes your soul come alive. Do it. Don't wait. Do it today. Small steps, mighty rewards. And the risk of that is not a risk at all. You're risking more by playing it small. If you could just see how much comes to help, it's amazing. Like legions of angels just show up. So just do it. Let's see, what else? We've got lots of things happening. We just had a fabulous workshop. The numerology workshop with Linda was a huge success. Our open house yesterday was another huge success. Yoga, if you live up north or even close to Hyatt's Road in Delaware, starting August, yoga is going to be happening 4 days a week at least, maybe 5. So wonderful yoginis, all female yoga teachers so far. They're amazing. Different forms. So I'm going to be doing yoga every day. So I can't wait. So there's that. I told you about Jazz Up the Holidays, told you about the October Circle of Love Gathering. If you're in need of prayer, please drop us a line at prayers@soulcallglobal.org. We pray with you, for you, and we send love to you and your loved ones as you navigate any kind of a challenge you might have, body, mind, or spirit. We're here for you. So one of the things to remember always, no matter what you're going through, as you bring forth with dynamic willpower, your heart, your soul's calling, always remember, always, always, always. Ready? Say with me. You are loved. Peace and blessings.
One family, one people, one planet, one love, one family.